Hey guys, Matt here from Straightforward Auto. Today we have a 1990 Alfa Romeo Spider here for an external fuel pump and a fuel filter. Let's get into it. For this job, we will be needing a couple tools: 3/8 ratchet, 10mm socket, 8mm socket, 7mm socket, 10mm wrench, a pair of pliers, flathead screwdriver, and some new hose clamps. The external fuel pump is going to be located right behind the passenger seat on the bottom. You're going to want to safely raise the car and then go ahead and get underneath of it. Here we are, just underneath the vehicle. This is going to be your external fuel pump, and then right next to it, here is your fuel filter. So first, what you're going to want to do is just remove your fuel clamps. You're going to want to try to remove these with a flathead and some pliers. These are non-reusable ones, so we're going to go ahead and replace them with new ones. Just a little tip, these are the clamps that were on it, and as you can see, this hook just hooks around this stud that pops out. So what I was able to do was take a flathead and work it from this side and just pop the clip right off. Just a little tip for you. All right, so this is a view from right next to the passenger rear tire. And as you can see, we got our clamps off and we worked off the fuel lines. Now, I'm not gonna bother taking this one off that joins the fuel pump to the filter, just because I am gonna drop it as one whole unit and then transfer the hoses when I have the new parts ready. There was just a little bit of fuel, so I did need a catch can just to pick it up a little bit. But now we're gonna go ahead and undo the 10mm bolt holding on the fuel pump, and then the 8mm bolt holding on the fuel filter, and then we're also gonna undo the electrical connections on the front. Here we have the old pump and the old filter out of the car. Here is our new pump and our new fuel filter. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and move this line over here and get some new clamps on there. And I'm also going to remove these rubber isolators and put them on the new parts. Okay, we have the pump in its holder. We've got some new hose clamps. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the fuel pump and the filter. This is the stock hose, so I did just use just a little bit of dielectric grease just on the fittings, just so that way the hose could slip right on without tearing or anything like that. But we're now ready to reinstall the fuel pump and the fuel filter. Just a quick tip, these metal brackets are pretty thick, they're pretty sturdy, so what I did is I actually removed these two bolts, this one and this one right over here. They're both 10mm, and then this whole bracket just dropped out of place, and then I undid this 10, and then the pump just slid right out. And then for the rubber dampeners, this is actually one piece. I just cut it in half, and it's more like foam. Cut it in half, there's one on here, then put the other half on here, and we're ready to reinstall. All right, we're back up underneath the vehicle. We have everything reinstalled. New hose clamps all the way around. We have our filter secured, pump is secured. Our electrical connections just on the other side are nice and tight and secured. One quick thing is that your ground is going to be bigger than your 12-volt power, so the posts will be different sizes. The post for the ground is a 8mm nut, and then the post for the 12-volt is going to be a 7mm nut, just so that way you can tell the difference between them. And that is how you replace an external fuel pump on a 1990 Alfa Romeo Spider. Overall, this job took me about an hour, and we're going to give it a 2 out of 5 on the difficulty scale.